All right, we are on chapter 10. This is section 1. We're going to be discussing healthy relationships as this is loading here. So, relationships are very important in life, no matter whatever they. Whenever we hear the word relationship, though, we always think romantic relationship, and that's not necessarily the case. Okay, those are very important and a part of our lives, but it doesn't necessarily mean romantic. Okay, it can be relationships in general. Okay. A healthy relationship is one in which both people feel benefit and feel comfortable. Healthy relationships are based on shared values and interests and mutual respect. Okay. So there's a mutual respect in relationships. And a lot of us, we've seen a lot of relationships in our lives, even at your young of age. Okay. You've seen good ones, you've seen bad ones, you've seen friends go through some, and you've maybe had relationships with friends that aren't so great. Okay, those are all issues. And now first one we're going to talk about is family relationships. Okay, so healthy family relationships enhance all sides of your health triangle. Okay, hopefully you have a healthy relationship with your immediate family, your parents, etc. Okay, yes, we all have a crazy uncle. I have a crazy uncle. We all have a crazy uncle. All right. Okay, so you're always going to have some issues within your family. Okay. And like they always say, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Now, that doesn't mean you should cut family off if they're being rude to you at a point in your life where you're an adult and you don't, if they're causing drama in their life. I was just actually having a conversation with one of my friends about this within the last week. Okay. Family is not very good to her. And I said, well, why do you even deal with them? Just don't hang out with them. Okay. The love, the care, and encouragement you receive from your family members also contribute to your mental and emotional health. Hopefully, you all have parents that are encourage you in stuff that you like to do, encourage you in all aspects of your life. And I know that sometimes we assume those things, and that's not necessarily the case. Okay. So, roles with peers, family, and friends. You probably play many roles, such as a daughter or son, sibling, best friend, or employee. Okay, those are all different roles that you play throughout the day. Okay, so the role you play in a relationship may be obvious. Okay, example: when you babysit a neighbor's child, you are an employee. Okay, I act one way at work here as a teacher, and I act differently when I'm around just my friends, or I act differently when I'm around with my family, my mother and my dad. Right? Okay, so you can see you act differently. So in that situation, if you're the employee, you're in charge, right? So you are in charge, you are the boss, right? Maybe you go home, your parents are in charge. Okay. Sometimes your roles may change gradually or even suddenly. Example, your relationship with a fellow choir may be changed, but if you begin dating, right? So and some of us have done that as well. We've dated a significant other. Okay. You were friends, and then you decided to date, and then maybe you broke up. And it kind of stinks. Sometimes you can't get that friendship back. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, right? But that it would change that role that you play with that person. Role changes can be confusing and make it difficult to know how to act. So in certain situations, you may not know how to act, right? I mean, I guarantee you act one way at school, and then you act a different way at home. Right? Because I get that from parents all the time. I'm like, hey, Susie's great in class. She's respectful. She's great. She answers questions. She works really hard. And they're like, well, she's not quiet at home. Right? Okay. So that's an example of a role where you play a different role in certain situations. 3 C's of healthy relationships. You communicate to let others know your feelings, thoughts, and expectations. Okay. Communication also lets you discover the feelings, needs, wants, and knowledge of others. Okay. So you need to communicate. People will treat you how you allow them to treat you. Ladies, guys can't read your minds. Okay. Guys, ladies can't read your minds. Okay. Or whatever type of relationship you're in. Okay. People cannot read your mind. Okay. So you need to communicate those values. I can tell a story. I remember I was dating this girl one time, and I picked her up from work, and she said she wanted to go somewhere to sit down to eat dinner. So I picked it. She's like, and she didn't say where she wanted to go. So I picked this Mexican restaurant. Okay. In this Mexican restaurant, you walked in, you ordered at the counter, and then you went and sat down and they brought their food out to you. Okay. We were sitting there watching, figuring out what we wanted to eat. And I'm like, hey, what do you want to eat? Well, she got mad at me. She goes, this isn't a sit down restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And then we got a huge fight. Right. Okay. But what I didn't understand, what she didn't communicate to me was, hey, I want to go to a restaurant. We walk in, they go sit us down, and a waiter comes up to us. Right. Okay. So that was a major communication problem there. Cooperation's important. Okay. You need to cooperate with your partner. Okay. It's a give and take, right? If one person's the total dominant person in the relationship, it's not going to work. Okay. But some people are that way. Some people are more passive. Okay. A little bit, but it works. But you got to be able to cooperate on major things. Okay. And compromise. You're going to have to compromise. Okay. Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're going to do this. Okay. You got to sometimes you got to meet in the middle. Right. And it could be in a variety of things. Maybe it's dinner. Right. Okay. I remember when I was a kid and we'd go out to a movie with my dad, and it would always have to compromise because my brother and I both wanted to see drastically different movies. So maybe the compromise was, hey, Mike gets to pick the movie this week, and then next time we go to a movie, I'll pick the movie. Sometimes, rarely, right, we'd pick the same movie that we wanted to see. Okay, characteristics of healthy relationships. All good relationships, whether they're family members, friends, or other members of your community, have certain recognizable characteristics. Mutual respect. Okay, you respect them. Give respect to get respect. I always hear people always saying all the time, they didn't respect you. They disrespected me. Well, did you give respect to that teacher or that person so they could give it back to you? I don't know. People always want respect, but they're not willing to give it to get it. Consideration. You're considerate of others. Okay. Hey, maybe you have a friend and you're like, hey, Susie, are you all right today? That's being considerate, right? Okay. She didn't look like herself today. Honesty. Okay. Okay. You should be honest in a relationship. You see romantic relationships all the time break down because of the people lie and they're not honest. It is the most common aspect that is broken down within relationships that they end up not working. If it's romantically, friendship, it doesn't matter. Honesty is the main thing. Okay. Dependability. Are you dependable? Hey, Jim, can you pick me up and take me to work? I have to be at work by 9. Is Jim dependable to be able to pick me up there? I can guarantee you the first time he's late, you're not going to think he's dependable or she's dependable or whoever, right? Dependability is very important. Are you going to show up to work on time? Okay. There's tons of people out there that lost jobs because they're late. Okay. Commitment. Okay. Are you committed? Are you committed to the relationship? If it's romantic, are you committed with that one person? Okay. Or if it's a friend, are you committed to a committed friendship? It can't be too one-sided, right? I always feel like I'm very lucky. My friends and I are very loyal to each other and have good relationships. Now, do I agree with them on everything? No, but we have those things up there. Okay. Traits of good character. Okay, these ones are pretty obvious, and you guys have probably heard a lot of these before. You build a foundation for healthy relationships that demonstrate the 6 main character traits of good character. Trustworthiness. Obviously, are you trustworthy? Can I borrow your, Call of Duty game? Do you borrow it and bring it back in just as good a shape as you brought it, or do you bring it back with scratches all over it? Okay, fairness. Okay, I know a lot of times people talk about fairness. Life's not fair, blah, blah, blah. But are you fair? Okay, in class, if I graded you all differently because, I don't like her, but I like him, or I like her. Okay, if I had a different grading scale for everybody, would that show fairness? Would that go show good character? No. Okay, respect. Okay, you're respectful of the person. You're respectful of their things. Okay, those type of things. It's all of those things. Okay, caring. You're caring for a person. Okay, you check in on people. You don't want to be overbearing, but at the same time, you're caring. Hey, Susie, how you doing today? Hey, how did your play go yesterday? That's showing caring. That's being caring. Responsibility. Do you show responsibility? Do you get your work done on time? We always talk about at school. This is a test for your later in life. I can talk about students I've had in the past that I've seen or talked to or known outside of the high school realm, or I've coached, and I can tell you start some developing those traits when you're in high school. Okay, guys late to practice all the time. Guess who has trouble keeping a job because they're late? They do. Okay, those are type of responsibility type things. Citizenship, that's kind of where you're a good person within the community. You don't break equipment at the school. You don't go out and, just graffiti stuff. You don't, kick the door in, as you're walking into the Dollar Tree. I don't know, stuff like that. Okay, that's all citizenship type stuff. Do you throw your garbage in the garbage can? You don't just throw it on the floor. Okay. You show trustworthiness when you're honest, reliable, and loyal. We kind of talked about that. Trustworthy people don't cheat, steal, or deceive. They have the courage to do what's right. That old saying, do you have it? It's easy to do the right thing when everybody's watching, but do you do the right thing when nobody's watching? Okay. Remember that, right? Okay. Hector finds a wallet containing $300. He uses the name of the driver's license and phone number to call the owner so that he can return the wallet. Would you do that? Or would you just take the cash and throw it on the ground? Okay. Somebody that's trustworthy would do that. Okay. Fairness. We kind of talked about that. You play by the rules. You take turns. You share. You listen to others with an open mind. We struggle with that in this day and age, right? Okay. We immediately want to say, oh, that's stupid. Or you're stupid. Are you dumb? No. Okay. You can respectfully disagree with somebody. Respect. Respect by using good manners, being considerate of others, and being tolerant of differences. I mean, do you hold the door open for people when they're walking in a store? I know a lot of doors have automatic doors now, but do you hold the door? Okay. Those type of things. Caring. You show you're caring. You're kind and compassionate. Means you put in time and energy to help others. Okay. Now, like we talked about on that realm. Okay. If you're the one that's always getting asked for stuff and being too nice, that can be a problem as well. Okay. But, helping your friend out with their homework once in a while is fine, is nice. Okay. But if they're asking you to do the homework for them and come on, you be a good friend. That's not caring. Okay. That's taking advantage of you. Responsibility. You show they're responsible by doing what is expected of you and you're accountable of your choices. Okay. Being responsible also means that you use self-control, think before you act, and always try your best. Okay. As you're growing up, you learn these things. Now, are you probably going to get in trouble once in a while as a young adult? Yeah. Okay. But hopefully it's nothing major. Okay. Eventually, when you're an adult and you get in trouble for certain things, there's legal consequences, and that could include jail time, that can include fines, etc. Okay. Are you responsible for your actions? Okay. A lot of times, if you get in trouble with the administrator, like you're at the vice principal's office and they ask you what happened, your best bet most of the time is to just take responsibility for what you did. Right. Usually the punishment's better. I know it was that way when I was younger, and it was that way with my parents. If I took responsibility, my punishment wasn't as bad. Citizenship. You cooperate in doing your share to improve your school and community. You obey laws and rules and respect authority. Okay. You're not, calling police officers names. You're not, when you're driving on the roads, if you have your license, you're not, speeding, etc. Okay. You find a piece of garbage on the ground, you pick it up, throw it away. Okay. So as you can see, those are all kind of characteristics within healthy relationships. If you're missing some of those things, okay, the relationship is probably not the healthiest. Now, are they easy? Do you have to work on relationships every day? Friendships, romantic relationships with your parents and relatives? Yes. But if it's turns to one-sided and becomes abusive verbally, physically, etc., you need to eliminate yourself from that relationship. Once again, remember, you can look on the textbook online. It also has all this information in there as well.